This is the CBS Evening News with Connie Chung in New York and Dan Rather in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Good evening. The drums of war are beating, and even the generals here in Haiti can hear them now. No one doubts any longer that preparations are underway for a massive U.S. invasion to drive out Haiti's military rulers and restore the elected president. These are the ones who wait for war. Haiti's unarmed, unemployed, underfed citizens. Mostly poor and illiterate, they have no rifles at the ready, no sandbags at their doors. Many barely have a roof over their heads. They don't march or drill. They don't practice on a firing range. The strategy of these Haitians is simply to wait. They've been waiting for a long time, nearly 3 years now since the coup that sent their president into exile, along with their hopes for a better life. Haitian soldiers and militiamen wait too, bracing themselves for a massive U.S. assault. Their way of waiting gives already anxious citizens further cause to worry. And so the people wait in fear. The question is, which do they fear more? The violence of an invasion or the terror of the status quo in Haiti? President Clinton is pressing ahead with invasion plans, so far without much support in the Congress or among the American public. A new CBS News New York Times poll indicates 2/3 of Americans oppose sending U.S. troops here to restore the elected president. Our Pentagon correspondent David Martin has the latest on the deployment and the doubts.
The aircraft carrier America, the ship that will carry part of the assault force for next week's planned invasion of Haiti, left Norfolk today, bound for the Caribbean.
We love you!
As the America steams down the East Coast, Special Operations Forces will helo aboard from their bases in North Carolina and Georgia. One day behind the America, the Eisenhower, carrying helicopters and infantry that will go into Haiti after the initial assault.
We're going to be loaded and ready to go by about this time tomorrow.
With other ships loading Army equipment at other East Coast ports, military preparations for an invasion seem to be going more smoothly than political preparations. The administration today tried to make its case by highlighting human rights abuses.
The people of Haiti have been subjected to assassinations, executions, beatings, mutilations, raids, rapes.
But even Democratic members of Congress reported that their constituents were against invading Haiti.
I think they feel that it's not in the national security interest of the United States in order to invade the country of Haiti.
Defense Secretary Perry and Joint Chiefs Chairman Shalikashvili went to Capitol Hill to brief Republican leader Dole, but there was no evidence they changed his mind.
As far as I'm concerned, risking American lives for the return of Aristide to power is not an option. It's not a good option. It's not one that we ought to consider.
The White House says President Clinton will give an Oval Office address on Haiti Thursday night. One more sign that with or without public support, an invasion is just a matter of days away unless the Haitian generals step down. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
CBS News has been told tonight that Haitian generals believe U.S. SEALs and or Army Special Forces already have been active on Haitian soil. There's no way to confirm that story or knock it down. U.S. warships have been spotted inside Haitian territorial waters, and today the Haitian Army officially called that a provocation and vowed to defend the country no matter what the sacrifice. Well, the generals are putting up a brave front, but as CBS News correspondent Bob Simon reports now, in the way of a traditional army, they haven't got much to back it up.
This is what the United States Marines will be up against. They were drilling this morning, these new recruits to the Haitian Army, learning how to hold their weapons even though there weren't enough to go around. Learning how to load them even though there was no ammunition. Practicing the maneuver which may serve them best, about face. It's unlikely that many of these poor conscripts will die during the American onslaught, because it's unlikely that many will fight, and they will not have to shed their uniforms. While the Haitians are preparing as best as they can for the invasion, American officials here are already looking well past the invasion to the difficult days which begin as soon as the war has been won. The Americans' first task will be to bring safety, not so much to themselves as to the throngs of poor people who for decades have only been witnesses to their own destiny. Safety from the gunmen, food, medicine, jobs, electricity. Nothing less than an infrastructure to a nation which has been destroyed. But is the invasion inevitable? No, not inevitable.
There are still some people who think the baseball strike can still be settled, and there are still some people who think that there is a diplomatic way out of here.
People can't stock up as people usually do before a scheduled war because there's nothing to stock up on. There's still some food, there's no money. Gas is more expensive than champagne. If there's political logic in Washington for mounting the invasion soon, there's logic here too for doing something, anything, to make this suffering stop. Bob Simon, CBS News, Port-au-Prince.
You may want to note that while Haiti doesn't have much in the way of a traditional army, there are independent observers who believe that the country has considerable potential for a protracted guerrilla war. The most palpable emotions here are fear and fatalism. The mayor of Port-au-Prince put it this way, and I quote, "The intervention has already taken place. It's all over but the shooting," unquote. For the moment, that's it from Haiti. Connie?
Dan, thank you. Still to come on the CBS Evening News, the wreckage is gone from the White House lawn, but the mystery of a fatal plane crash remains. And Eye on America. Tonight, the return of the private eye. Detectives who find missing children and more for clients who can pay.
Big news, folks. Hallmark's humorous line of cards, Shoebox Greetings, are now just $1.29.
On Mondays only after 4 p.m.
No, actually, that's the regular price for the rest of the year.
While supplies last, void where prohibited.
Do I know you?
All announcers know sales come with restrictions. I'm just here to restrict.
But this isn't a sale.
This is a dramatization.
No, Shoebox cards are just $1.29, really.
Based on actual highway mileage.
Listen, Shoebox cards are only $1.29, only from Hallmark. That's it.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
Security?
Do you question your bladder control protection? The answer is new technology from Attens that you can sample for free.
What makes it so new?
Only new Attens has perma-dry fibers woven in to absorb faster.
Really?
To see for yourself, call 1-800-ATTENS now for a free sample by mail.
Do you have the right kind of protection for me?
Ask for a pad, guard, undergarment, or brief. We'll help you choose the right size.
Great.
Call for a free sample today and look for Attens in the store.
In Washington, new details are emerging tonight about the pilot who crashed a plane onto the grounds of the White House yesterday and the failure to stop him. CBS News White House correspondent Rita Braver has the latest on that story.
The Secret Service says preliminary blood tests show the pilot who was killed when he crashed his plane onto the White House grounds early yesterday morning had been drinking and that there were traces of cocaine in his body. The chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee says that presents significant information about 38-year-old Frank Corder.
This was an individual who was perhaps mentally disturbed.
In addition, DeConcini and other government officials said that National Airport's radar system did pick up the plane, but workers there failed to alert the Secret Service.
It was tracked. They know that from going back, but nobody was watching the radar. And obviously that needs to be corrected.
And DeConcini said although there's a hotline between National Airport and the White House, there seems to be no official requirement that the FAA track airplanes that get too close.
There is no paper trail of any executive agreement or memorandum of understanding or a directive from the president or anybody else.
With the plane's wreckage cleared away, new bushes already planted, and little evidence of yesterday's crash, the president was asked if he felt safe.
Yes.
It's unclear whether the Secret Service would have had time to react, even if it had been warned about the plane. But government officials say it's likely that pilots will face tougher FAA scrutiny when approaching Washington's restricted flyover zone. Rita Braver, CBS News at the White House.
The White House grounds were all spruced up in time for President Clinton's elaborate ceremony today to sign the new federal crime bill into law. Mr. Clinton made a point of inviting the bill's supporters, including relatives of crime victims, police chiefs, and the few Republicans who voted for it. Today's White House photo op aside, what impact might the new crime bill actually have out on the streets? Correspondent Jim Stewart has been investigating a case in point.
In Prince George's County, Maryland, where crime is up 5% overall, Police Chief David Mitchell already has plans for his slice of the crime bill pie.
What I would do immediately is increase community policing. I'd put more police officers on the street to not only reduce crime, but to reduce the fear of crime.
Good morning, Response Center.
While at the Justice Department, cops all around the country are calling with the same question.
What funding is available to law enforcement agencies from the crime bill recently passed?
The answer is $30 billion. About a third of it will help cities hire more police for the streets if they pick up part of the tab themselves. There's also money for crime prevention programs and a $10 billion chunk to build new prisons. And even though many feel there are too many strings attached to the money, police chiefs said today they're grateful nonetheless.
We're in a war right now with the gangs in Chicago. This is not utopia, this crime bill, but it's a start.
For Buffalo, we're very excited about it. It's going to provide some technology and training, just the types of things that we need to make it a safer city.
That's 10-4.
What they want in Prince George's County is a new satellite precinct and maybe to beef up their domestic violence prevention.
Give us more officers, we know exactly where to put them.
But the trick may be in keeping them there. Funding for the crime bill is good for only 6 years. After that, the money goes away, even if the crime hasn't. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Stay with us for more of the CBS Evening News, including a new government plan to force more careful inspection of the nation's beef and poultry.
Oh, hi. What do you have? Myself, I have the goulash, I have the fries, I have the cheesecake, and now I'll have the Tums. Tums has calcium.
Many antacids don't. These have aluminum and magnesium. So do these. Tums helps knock out heartburn and gives you calcium.
Something your body needs anyway. So what do you have? Have the goulash, have the fries, have the cheesecake, and have...
Tums. I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away the gray for a totally natural look. No wonder 8 out of 10 wives of Just for Men users prefer it to the gray look.
It's like you took off 10 years.
And in just 5 minutes.
Just for Men. She'll love the way you look.
How fast does maximum strength Ambisol start to relieve toothache pain? Before you can say Ambisol. Get maximum strength relief from toothache pain on contact. Maximum strength Ambisol. Put it on. The pain is gone.
Today there's Protegra, the all-antioxidant supplement with more vitamin E, C, and beta-carotene. More antioxidant protection than a multivitamin alone. So to boost your antioxidant levels, add Protegra to your daily routine, because Protegra means protection.
See these pictures? They were taken when the United States invaded Haiti years ago.
The United States came in to bring freedom once before. That was 1915.
Will a new invasion accomplish any more than the old one, or is history repeating itself? Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
The government is set to announce new moves on food safety tomorrow, specifically new requirements for government inspection of meat and poultry. CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has an advanced look tonight at what's in those proposals.
From tainted hamburger meat at a Jack in the Box in Washington State to food poisoning on a cruise ship in Los Angeles, the threat of lethal bacteria in food is making headlines and frightening consumers. After heavy criticism for doing too little, too late to protect the nation's meat supply and for maintaining a cozy relationship with industry, the USDA is changing tactics.
What's really important here is the Department of Agriculture is shifting forcefully to the maximum incorporation of the tools of microbiology into our system of meat and poultry inspection.
For 87 years, the USDA relied on a direct visual inspection of animal carcasses, which missed hidden bacteria and other microbes. Tomorrow, the administration will propose lab tests for bacteria at all stages of meat processing, prohibiting sale of products with unsafe levels of bacteria, penalties of up to $100,000 per day per violation. The legislation is meeting little resistance from an industry beleaguered by public concern for safe meat.
We don't view it as a burden. We view it as an assurance, an added assurance that the quality of the product that we are producing is as safe and wholesome as it possibly can be.
Don't expect any changes in your supermarket or grocery store for as long as 2 years. In the meantime, to protect yourself and your family, follow the safe handling instructions
found on all packaged meat. Those include instructions for proper preparation, cooking, and refrigeration of meat. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
Word tonight that veteran comedian George Burns is in the intensive care unit of a hospital in Los Angeles. The 98-year-old Burns had surgery to relieve a buildup of brain fluid, the result of a fall. The hospital says Burns tolerated the surgery well. In Virginia, a federal grand jury today indicted 3 former top officials of the United Way of America, including William Aramone, the former president of the charity group. The 71-count indictment accuses them of spending the charity's money on themselves, including lavish vacations. During the Bush administration, her signature was on all U.S. currency. Katrina Vasquez Villalpando, U.S. Treasurer. Much of the money is still in circulation. Today, the former U.S. Treasurer is out of circulation, ordered to serve 4 months in prison for tax evasion. She told the judge today, "I'm embarrassed." When we come back, more of the CBS Evening News, including the latest disappointing news in the U.S. air crash investigation.
I have a fresh solution for denture odor. Minty Double Action Polident. It controls denture odor and cleans tough stains. Minty Double Action Polident. And in between soaks, wipe your dentures clean and minty fresh with Polident wipes.
When I get gas, I may look like this, but I feel like this. Painfully bloated.
Gas-X has the most powerful medicine to fight gas faster than antacids.
So I feel like me again.
Painful gas needs the power of Gas-X.
When something brand new, something fresh and exhilarating, comes into your life at the exact moment you're ready, screamingly ready for it, it's not coincidence. Aurora by Oldsmobile. See what happens when you demand better? Aurora.
Meet the women behind new Serenity pads.
Ordinary maxis weren't designed for light bladder control.
They're just not dry enough. So this new Serenity pad is really a breakthrough.
Oh yeah, if you compare...
Ordinary pads stay wet. New Serenity pads have dry layer. You can see Serenity pads stay much drier. So you feel drier.
And drier feels better.
New Serenity pads for light bladder control. Better than maxi pads.
Drier protection.
Created by women for women.
A popular teacher and shocking accusations.
He touched me a lot.
Are your kids safe from a teacher's touch? 48 Hours, Wednesday.
In Pennsylvania, federal investigators say the latest evidence in the crash of the U.S. Air Flight 427 points away from their 2 leading theories about what went wrong. Correspondent Bob Orr is live on the scene with an exclusive report. Bob?
Connie, it's a disappointing night for federal investigators. Just within the past hour or so, they have told CBS News that they no longer believe either of the 2 leading theories as to why U.S. Air Flight 427 went down on a Pennsylvania mountainside. In fact, investigators who are clearly frustrated say they are literally now back to square one in their investigation. Sources say they now have ruled out the possibility that a thrust reverser on the right engine of the plane malfunctioned. That mechanism, if it had been deployed, possibly, according to some, could have kicked that jet out of control. Investigators now clearly say they have evidence, new evidence, that the thrust reverser did not malfunction. As well, investigators tell us that a broken engine mount is not likely the cause anymore as well. Last night they suggested that perhaps one part of the engine on one mount came loose, causing the engine to sag and pitch the jet out of control. They now believe that that engine mount was broken on impact. The frustrating thing here for investigators is on day 5 of the investigation, they really have nothing that can be called concrete, not even a good, solid lead. Investigators tell me, Connie, that they're considering this the most frustrating case since the terrorist bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. They're literally trying to put the pieces together in a hangar. They're going to make some computer animation models, but right now, frankly, in the vernacular, they do not have a clue. Connie?
So, Bob, what is the next step for the investigators?
Well, they're very, very puzzled. They're looking at a couple of possibilities. I emphasize possibilities. One witness saw a little puff of smoke from the engine, suggesting the chance of an onboard fire. There's been no sign of fire so far. Also, bomb experts have been called in, but they have not found any evidence of any explosive. And we were told late tonight that they're going to look very hard at the possibility that an automatic pilot maybe have come confused at the end, leading to what they think now might be some kind of centralized massive mechanical meltdown. A catastrophic failure that did not give these pilots in the period of 23 seconds time to take any corrective action. It's a very difficult time, and it now means obviously the investigation is nowhere close to being over. In fact, it's barely begun.
All right. Thank you, Bob Orr, reporting live. The government said today that consumer prices rose a modest and less than expected 0.3% last month. The rate so far this year, under 3%. The report eases inflation fears for the time being, at least at the retail level. Store prices for clothing had their sharpest fall in 5 years. The U.S. trade deficit of $37 billion for the second quarter was the biggest in more than 6 years. But analysts say the deficit should start shrinking as growing foreign economies buy more American products. On Wall Street, the encouraging word on consumer inflation helped push the Dow more than 19 points.
Charlie comes to play with the enthusiasm of a 20-year-old, the drive of a 30-year-old, but the body aches and minor arthritic pain of a 40-year-old. That's why Charlie uses the wonder drug, Bayer aspirin, not Tylenol. See, both relieve pain, but taken regularly, Bayer even relieves the inflammation of arthritis. Just ask your doctor.
The old man's back. Give me the ball. Showtime, Charlie. Showtime. Let's go.
Hey, you get older, you get smarter. You get Bayer.
How do green thumbs keep veggies fresher longer? Ziploc brand vegetable bags with tiny holes called freshness vents. They let the right amount of moisture out, keep freshness in. That's the whole reason.
Ziploc has the lock on freshness.
For vegetables.
Before we tell you who makes the new Radius collection, you'd better sit down, shelve your preconceived ideas, and put any doubts to bed. Radius from Ethan Allen. Come see what's on sale.
Room 801.
Once they were in love with butter, but cholesterol closed the door on their dreams until...
William.
May I serve you?
I can't believe it's not butter.
I Can't Believe It's Not Butter is the first spread flavored with real sweet cream buttermilk for a fresh butter taste, but without the cholesterol.
Now nothing can disturb our love.
I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, the taste you love without the cholesterol.
Ready? Get him.
Isn't it just like Delta?
Let's make it really cool.
To design a faucet that's at both the height of style
Awesome.
and practicality. Delta, the way water is brought to life.
The crime bill President Clinton signed today will help our towns and cities hire 100,000 new police officers. The reinforcements will hardly make a dent in some departments that have too few officers trying to solve too many crimes. As John Blackstone reports in tonight's Eye on America, growing numbers of people frustrated by slow police work are going private. Private eyes.
When Nikki Crosby disappeared from her grandparents' home, it was not the police who solved the case. The break in the search for Nikki came only after a private detective got involved.
Good job.
The child had been missing for 4 months. The police, the FBI, and everyone had been working on this case.
Nikki had been kidnapped by her own mother, who had long ago given up custody.
She had already neglected Nikki. She had abused her. I knew what she was capable of doing, and I was terrified for her.
Katz quickly put together a booklet about Nikki and her mother and circulated it among members of an underground network that helps women on the run.
After I sent these books, in only 3 days, the child was found.
The reunion of Nikki and her grandparents is part of a growth industry as more and more Americans turn to private detectives for help they can't get from overburdened police departments.
If we just had to rely on local law enforcement, we would probably still be looking for her.
Negative. Has your client been updated yet?
It was private detective Lee Roberts who solved the case of the missing high school honor roll student Stuart Tay. Unwilling to wait for the police, Tay's family immediately hired Roberts, who in just 2 days located the boy's body and led police to his killers.
I'd like to believe that the reason it was so quickly resolved is that we did what we had the time to do, that Tays had the money to pay us to do.
So you're a private detective?
Private detectives were once more common in fiction than in fact.
You're a private eye, huh? That's right.
Now, private crime fighters actually outnumber those on the public payroll by more than 2 to 1. And a Department of Justice study has found that while budgets for public law enforcement are growing slowly at best, spending on private security is increasing rapidly. From security guards to private detectives, Americans are buying their protection on the open market.
If you have money and you have a problem and you go to an investigator, you're going to get results.
We would hopefully fax him a bill by this afternoon.
Private detectives usually charge between $50 and $100 an hour. There's no shortage of clients for jobs police no longer have much time for.
Hello. I'm looking for a friend of mine.
Subject did take merchandise.
In California's Silicon Valley, the stakeouts and stings that catch computer crooks are often arranged not by police, but by private investigator Kevin Fairchild.
It takes a long period of time to work them.
Police just don't have the resources to do that?
They don't have the manpower or the time.
We told the public to bring us all of their problems, and now we're discovering that when they bring us all of their problems, there are some problems that we just can't do alone.
But the growth of this justice for hire industry raises new questions about the future of an American ideal: equal justice for all.
Well, you know, any commodity, doesn't matter what it is, you have to be able to pay for it if you need.
Milo Spiriglio runs the oldest private detective academy in the country. There's now a waiting list for students who want to learn such skills as interrogation and tailing a suspect. It's a booming industry with promising career prospects for those who are able to master the tricks of the trade. In Los Angeles, John Blackstone for Eye on America.
And that's our news. Tomorrow morning, join Harry Smith and Paula Zahn for a report on 401k retirement plans. 16 million Americans have them, but most are earning less than they should. And on the evening news, more from Dan Rather in Haiti. Dan?
Connie, reports are circulating here in Port-au-Prince tonight that a high-level delegation from Washington, including some U.S. senators and possibly even former President Jimmy Carter, may be here over the weekend or early next week for a last-ditch negotiating session. Now, whether that proves to be true or not, it is typical of the indicators all around that two things are running neck and neck. One is fear of a civil war and bloodbath in the wake of an invasion, and the other is hope that some way, somehow, something may yet be worked out. In the days ahead, I'll be reporting from here in Port-au-Prince and from around the countryside on this Haitian conflict and the anticipation of a U.S. invasion. We'll be reporting to you on the general's point of view, the points of view of their political opposition, and the views of the long-suffering Haitian people. So stay tuned to CBS News for coverage of this breaking story. From Port-au-Prince, Haiti, good night, everybody, and good night, Connie.
Good night, Dan. Good night, everyone.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS.